Matt here from createyourfuture.co. So today I've got an exciting video of what you can do if you're not seeing any movement in your manifestation, even though you're doing self-concept and intentions. So just before I get started, guys, we are having a contest. We get to 100,000 subscribers. We're giving away 3 free coaching sessions to 3 different people, 1 session each. All you need to do to enter is to subscribe, share our videos, as well as comment. What have you manifested using the law of attraction, law of assumption? Let's share positive stories with each other because, yeah, it's all about focusing on great things. Remember, guys, if you guys want to ask me a question, you can on the Patreon. The link is in the description below. I do answer them once a month on the YouTube Live, as well as I have a course about recreating your relationship. So create the relationship you love. And yeah, that's available as well. Link in the description below. So yes, guys, exciting. So what do you do if you're not seeing movement? So if you're actually not seeing any movement with people, or you've been seeing a lot of birds before land, right, which is partial manifestations, or you've been doing your self-concept intentions, everyone loves me and I'm the best and I always get what I want, these sort of things, but you're not actually seeing any movement, you might want to take a look at what story you're creating about the other person, as well as what's your story on relationships in general. Okay, so I've talked about this before and I'll mention it again because it's definitely worth mentioning. My own success story was I was in a dating relationship, a casual relationship for 7 years, and it frustrated me to no end. I kept questioning what was wrong with me, what could I do to change it, and it was for a long time, right? And the one key part was this person was previously married. Okay, so then finally, after that 7 years, just banging my head against the wall, I was like, forget it. And I manifested somebody new, right? And that relationship worked out because that person actually wasn't married ever before in their life. Okay, so that was fine, interesting. And then, and then things didn't work out again in another relationship because that person was previously married. So that was a few more years of banging my head against the wall. And then finally I said, no, I manifested somebody new. Okay, and that was Andrew. And then we were dating. Everything was going well. He was coming over every night, but he didn't actually want to move in with me and have a committed relationship. And guess what? He was previously married. So the thing was, right, is I had created a story, okay, that anybody that was previously married wouldn't want to get into another committed relationship because they had baggage. So it wouldn't show up with the people I dated or wanted a relationship with that were never previously married. It was only the ones that were previously married. Okay. So once I found that out, I realized that that was one of my beliefs that I had with relationships. And so once I changed that, that's when I got into a committed relationship with Andrew. Mostly is when I started going, no, he's over his baggage. Okay. And of course he wants to be in a relationship with me. And you know what? The funny thing is I created that, like, my God, years ago, talking with a girlfriend over a glass of wine, and I didn't even mean it. I just said it. I don't even know why I said it. I just said it. And then it showed up in my life and caused me frustration and grief, right? Which is such as the case. Okay. So, so when you're not seeing movement, okay, I invite you to take and you're doing your self-concept. Okay. I want you to take a look. There's more areas than just, your self-concept, especially if you're seeing partial manifestations and birds before land, because when you're seeing birds before land, okay, that means, you are doing your intentions. So an example of that is, oh, you know what? Everybody loves me, and Gerry wants to marry me, and then all of a sudden some random guy wants to marry you. Okay, well, that's because we're blocking the story with the person you actually want to have them want to marry you or date you or whatever you're looking to create. So that would be a good indication that person, you need to change the story about that person, or you've got some sort of beliefs about relationships. Okay, because obviously, somebody coming in and saying, look, I want to marry you, but but it not being the one, that means that you do have a block there. Okay, because your thoughts are things and they're instant. Okay, the instant you have a thought, it goes into the other person's head, but you may have previous thoughts that are already at play there with that person. So there's no way around this. You have to dig out all of those old thoughts. Okay, and don't be scared of them, because when you create, you're just observing your own thoughts about your reality around you, and don't judge them. Don't get upset at them. There's no point to that, because they were just thoughts. A thought that I had, just random casual conversation where I didn't think twice about it, ended up showing up in my reality and causing me grief. Okay, so The thing is you go through and you identify, okay, what do you think the other person thinks about you? Okay. What is your beliefs about relationships? And then, of course, if you haven't done your work on your self-concept, what's your concept of yourself? Now, self-concept's a pretty easy one. Okay. So basically, right, if you have a story that nobody respects you, then it'll be like, nobody will be respecting you. So then you would just say that everybody respects me. Okay. And now once you switch to that and you're not seeing movement, say with Gerry, then Gerry's still not respecting you. Then you're going to have to focus on what Gerry thinks. Okay. So it's sometimes it's something that you take in steps, right? You take in steps. You may fix one thing, but then realize it doesn't fix across the board. Well, then now you know where to actually put your focus. Okay. And so let's go back to my example. My example was relationships where guys that weren't married were working out and guys that were previously married weren't working out. I mean, so it's a pretty clear indication to me of where my block may be. It was actually in my concept of men that were previously married, as well as my belief about relationships, right? So it kind of crossed over into the two and actually had nothing to do with my self-concept. I've always thought I was a great person. Okay. So if you are struggling in any area, I invite you to look at that, because I don't think that we actually take a look enough at, creating what we think the other person is thinking about us. Okay. So for instance, right, you guys are doing it unconsciously all the time. So this is something really common that I've heard when I was doing coaching was, well, I get worried that I'm annoying him when I text him. Well, see right there. Okay. You're actually creating what he's thinking. So now you have to take a look at that and go, do I want to create that? No, I intend that he's always happy to hear from me. In fact, he loves talking to me so much that he's always the first person that texts me. Okay. So you've got to, listen to your thoughts, and then even, dump it out all anyway. There's no harm in reviewing the old story, the current story that you don't like, which is going to be your old story, for the purposes of creating a new story, because you have to hit all of those things. So basically, your thoughts are basically like Post-it notes. And so when you say, okay, well, Gerry doesn't like me, yeah, there's a Post-it note. Oh, I annoy Gerry when I text him. Okay, there's another one. You got to fix that one, right? Oh, Gerry, you know what? He's never got time for me, never makes me a party. Boom. And then we say, well, Gerry wants to marry me. Well, guess what? We've blocked it. So we have to actually change all of these before that marriage one's going to come through. And that's why you'll get a partial manifestation with somebody else. Okay. So guys, I really invite you. I can't stress enough. Everyone's you pushed out. And that means that, yes, you're actually creating what other people think about you constantly. And you're also creating how your relationships turn out for yourself. So things like, you know what, I'm never lucky in love. And, these sort of things, general beliefs about relationships in relation to you have to be, identified and visited and created as well. So this is incredibly exciting. I know you guys are going to get a breakthrough after watching this video. And yeah, I mean, you know what? Yeah, take some time. Take some time to focus on what you want the other person to think. And I wonder how many times I said, you know what, in this video. Anyways, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.